Welcome inside the studio with Hubbard Street Dance, Chicago. So first and foremost, I am honored to create a work for Hubbard Street Dance, Chicago. I have admired and looked up to this company for much of my career. My 16-year-old self is somewhere like, what's happening? So it's been amazing. When Linda Denise asked me to make this work and we were looking at schedules, it looked like we needed to make this in two separate one-week residencies, which on paper seems a little crazy, but actually was really a great opportunity for me. As a choreographer, I'm often given a very concentrated time to make a dance, make it perfect, and put it on stage. And there's not often a lot of time to play and discover and research and actually be creative for creativity's sake. So I was actually here 2 months ago for a one-week residency in December. And I spent those 5 days with the dancers just investigating the idea of this work, playing, trying, failing, throwing that away, starting again, letting myself be scared, letting myself be in the darkness and the unknown. And, you know, believe it or not, I've not been in that space in probably the last 5 to 10 years to really just create and discover something. So I'm really grateful that Linda Denise and the Hubbard Street Dancers gave me that space to just play.
From day one, we started by discussion almost every day in rehearsal. And that's something that I think is really essential and kind of like the backbone of this piece is how much dialogue we've been able to share with Chanel, how much she's been able to share with us.
It was really touching and special and pivotal for this process and how we've been able to sculpt this world together because permission and vulnerability was established from the start.
I am such a huge Chanel DaSilva fan. I've known her for quite some time now. She is an exquisite choreographer, teacher, mentor. We've been talking for so long for her to come in and work with the Hubbard Street Dancers, and she's finally here, so I'm so thrilled. Chanel is a visionary. She comes to the table inspired already by something, and she investigates that thing, and she explores that thing, and how she brings that to the stage is really extraordinary.
The title of this work is called Atlas, and I have been investigating this idea of the Greek mythological story of Atlas, who, for those of you who don't know, was condemned by Zeus to hold up the entire universe for the rest of eternity. And I was thinking about that, and this idea of holding up the world was really resonating with me, and I started thinking about women and how we, from what feels like the beginning of time, have been tasked both literally and figuratively with holding up the world. And I wanted to use that as my starting point to create, to investigate, to ask questions, to not have the answers, but really just offer some reflections about women and how we carry it all.
Physicality, yes, is very much there, but also the mind and the heart conversation too is very much there. So therefore it feels very, like the volume feels very elevated in the sense of like our senses are very, very heightened. Our emotions are very heightened. How we see each other are very heightened. How we partner, like we feel very sensitive towards each other.
It's also a lot of movement being created on site. And so it's very honest what she is making, and it's also very within our own bodies as much as it is in hers. And so how we're interpreting it, I think, feels genuine to how we're also then able to share it.
I spoke to Linda Denise and I said, how would you feel if I used a prop in this dance, like a very large prop? And she was like, okay, tell me about it. And I told her about these huge spheres that I had in my mind's eye, both to pay an actual nod to Atlas holding up what we now see as like the globe, and then also using it as a source of weight and heaviness in the space. And so I've not worked with a prop in this sense ever. So this was a new journey for me. And it's teaching me a lot about humanity and qualities of the body and how I can bring theatrical drama to dance, you know, because a lot of when the dancers are holding these spheres is requiring them to act. And so much of the first week was just discovering that. How do I make this object look realistic? And then also change the mass of this object. So how can I show that it's heavy and weighted and it literally takes all of me to carry this? and then change it into something really light.
I think being here at Hubbard Street has freed her in a sense that she doesn't have any sort of movement limitations. You know, the dancers are free to move on the floor and into the air and all the things. When she asks the dancers, who are so collaborative and so invested in process, when she asks the dancers to try things, there are so many different ways to do that one thing. And so she's realizing her vision fully.
I'm excited for the audience to have a sense of community, I think, as they're watching it. There's so many ways that you can relate, like as an audience member, to like what you're seeing on stage. But I think that the world that we're able to create with Chanel and then with each other, it's really intimate, but it's one that it's also relatable, and it's also one that it's maybe you already feel that you're a part of. And it's not one that maybe you have to like ask to step into, or one that you have to wait for permission. It's like, oh, I might initially just see myself in this position right away. And so I'm hoping that in that community, it also maybe then invites the audience to maybe rethink their own choices of how they've navigated things that have been passed on from generations, how they've carried certain ideas or different tasks, and maybe just take a moment to sort of reflect for themselves as we're also reflecting in real time on stage.
Oh, they're carrying a lot. It's heavy. Oh, am I carrying a lot? I'm also carrying a lot. Oof. Yeah, right. This life thing is heavy. Oof. Could I have more empathy for people? Could I have more empathy for myself? Man, grace. I need to have grace for myself, for other people. You know what I mean? Like, just that I'm hoping that it evokes the internal conversation, that it evokes asking more questions. My hope is that it does not come across judgmental, that it does not come across preachy, that it really just comes across as a moment to witness my own reflection about myself, about the other women in my life, about humans on this planet. It can be very scary as a dance maker or an art maker in general to step in front of the room and know that the piece exists up here in the ether somewhere, and then to be the vessel that it comes through, but not have all the answers. That's really scary. So to be in a room full of collaborators like these incredible dancers at Hubbard Street who have held space for me, who've let me make big, bold, brave, crazy choices and not judge me for it, I've just felt really safe, and it's been great.